Well, Chairman, diabetologists, and friends, first of all, I thank the Fellow 2015 and Dr. Kumaravel for inviting me to talk to you on sexual dysfunction in diabetes. I've seen through the program and I find that this has not been covered to any great extent. Ours is the first comprehensive unit in andrology and urology in the southern Tamil Nadu. When we talk about sexual disorders in general, we are able to classify them in men as libido or desire, erection, ejaculation, culminating in orgasm. There can be various dysfunctions of sexual disorders both in the male and female. We treat female dysfunctions as well these days, and they could be psychogenic or organic. We know the capital of diabetes is India. We know the incidence of diabetics are increasing. Ejaculatory dysfunctions, especially premature ejaculation, is very common. I'm not going to discuss about ejaculatory dysfunctions, we have no time. Erectile dysfunction is always underdiagnosed in India, and you should also know that in any patient with erectile dysfunction, there is an underlying risk of cardiac ischemia that is very important. Now, why is ED underdiagnosed? Patients don't want to reveal that they have a problem. The diabetologist in his busy practice does not ask about sexual function. We should have questionnaires to have some questions about the sexual functioning of the patient. They can fill it up as they are waiting to see the diabetologist. Direct questions by the diabetologist or the medical officer may help. And the presence of any complications like autonomic neuropathy or urinary problems or even constipation in the diabetes should ask the diabetologist to look for autonomic peripheral neuropathy, erectile disorders, and ejaculation, and so on. It is estimated that up to 60 to 70% of diabetics in their lifetime suffer from erectile dysfunction. The persistent inability to achieve or maintain a penile erection sufficient for intercourse to the mutual satisfaction of both partners on many occasions is called as erectile dysfunction. In diabetes, it is possible that neurogenic factors may predominate, but most likely, most causes of erectile dysfunction are vascular. They include the small arteries, the cavernosal arteries, the larger arteries like the pudendal arteries are not usually involved. The venous control may be hampered, I shall come to that, and the sinusoidal spaces, which are the small spaces which dilate and get filled with blood and produce tumescence and rigidity, they may be at fault. Hormone-related erectile dysfunction is unusual. You can easily detect a hormone deficient individual, like they discussed about hypogonadism in the male. But hypogonadism, as age advances, is more difficult to find out. To find out a hypogonadal male who loses testosterone at the rate of 1% every year after the age of 40, you must correlate with other symptoms like tiredness, fatigue, mental disorders, stress, sleeplessness, loss of muscle energy, and so on. And then when you make a free testosterone estimation, you may find that testosterone is low, and it may be one factor for erectile dysfunction. Remember, in males, it is always difficult to give testosterone because of the danger of prostatic carcinoma. Therefore, it is important to look for serum PSA and find out that there is no risk of prostatic carcinoma, there is no history of prostatic carcinoma in the family. Before we support these individuals with testosterone, we can do it. Psychological factors are also very common. When a patient realizes he is a diabetic, suddenly his blood sugar is 600, and in a few weeks he is capable of performing, and it may be a purely psychological factor. Sometimes severe hyperglycemia by itself causes erectile dysfunction, which is temporary, and once you bring down the blood sugar to normal levels, the patient will be capable of functioning. That also you must understand. Or it is usually a combination of several factors. Now this is the cross-section of the cavernosa, corpus cavernosa. The one on the top you see that the structure inside are the arterioles, the cavernosus spaces, the tunical layers, and the vessels outside are the venules. When there is a stimulation, blood flows about 6 times its rate through the helicine arterioles, which are end arterioles. The cavernosus spaces dilate. The tunica albuginea is compressed, and the veins which come through layers of the tunica albuginea become compressed, and there is venous compression and there is no venous flow. So more and more blood flow under proper neurological and psychological circumstances helps one to get tumescent and then rigid erection for a short time till the act is performed. If there is a problem with the helicine arteriole, the blood doesn't flow in, which is the commonest cause in diabetes. The sinusoidal spaces are not going to be filled up, the tunica is not going to be compressed, the venules are not going to be compressed, and the patient may have tumescence but no rigidity. And tumescence without rigidity is useless as far as erection is concerned. Now, if you look at this picture, you find that the penile artery is smaller than the coronary artery. That is an advantage in picking up coronary disease. If the patient comes to us at the age of say 40, 45, 50 and has got penile vascular disease, then you might as well ask your patient to see the cardiologist. Though many of my patients who I send to the cardiologist never come back to me, but it is an important thing to see that his cardiological status is okay. As you can see, the next vessel to the penile artery is the cardiac coronary vessel. Now, ED diabetes is very common. More than 50% of ED patients are in diabetic individuals. Vascular cause is the most severest cause. Then, of course, you know the degree, severity of control, duration of diabetes, hormonal events, and everything else depends on how fast you are going to get erectile dysfunction. It is generally believed that many of the events in an individual happen 10 years before in diabetics than in normal people. This is again about the various causes of erectile dysfunction, and you can see that mostly it is vasculogenic. Pharmacologic is 10%, and operative with radical prostatectomy is an enormous 10%. Now, this is another graph of men with diabetes with peripheral neuropathy present and autonomic neuropathy present in different age groups with a higher incidence of erectile dysfunction. So, the basic cause of diabetic erectile dysfunction is endothelial dysfunction, and this is what we all know about, that all bad factors like smoking, hypertension, age, hypercholesterolemia, drugs, everything acts by altering the endothelial function. Now, it is very easy to assess patients with erectile problems. You have to ask him, and many times the patients go to neurologists, the patients go to psychiatrists, the neurologists give them some nerve tonics, the psychiatrist puts them on sedatives, and it goes on like that. Now, when you get a history of erectile dysfunction, it is very important to ask whether the erection lasts till the ejaculation is over. In other words, to ask whether the ejaculation is quick. If a person says he has quick ejaculation, it is not a case of erectile dysfunction. It is a case of premature ejaculation. If a person says that he has no erection but also ejaculates, probably he has either one, erectile dysfunction, or premature, or even both. We go through the basic lab tests. They are very standard. I am not going through those tests. Physical examination usually does not reveal anything except in hypogonadism. Sometimes in adult males we may find what is called Peyronie disease. A Peyronie disease may be contributing to erectile dysfunction. There are specialized tests which I shall come about. One is called the Ritchie scan. Every male has got nocturnal penile erections about 3 to 6 in his sleep. The early morning erection that we wake up with is the last erection. Now, these erections the patient may or may not notice, but if you apply an instrument called as Ritchie scan on the patient for 2 nights, we can record these erections. like a graph. We do it in hospital because we cannot depend on the patient taking home and bringing back safely. This is a normal rigid scan. He has got 3 erections at the base and the green is at the tip, and the thickness shows the rigidity. The rigidity is also excellent. So this is a normal NPTR. We can take it that this patient has psychogenic erectile dysfunction, whereas this patient has an organic erectile dysfunction. The next thing is to go for a penile Doppler evaluation. We always inject a combination of pregabalin, phentolamine and chlorpromazine. There may be some of you who get your radiologist to do only with pregabalin. 40% of your patients will have failure. We have injected the drug and we are using Doppler evaluation of the cavernous arteries. The patient is also given some visual sexual stimulation. Here you can see the cavernous arteries are pumping in more and more blood, and there is no diastolic flow. The diastolic phase is absent. Sometimes you may have a reverse diastolic flow which shows extremely good pubescence. Now you see that the diastolic flow is coming back. So this patient had erection for about 15 minutes, which says that his erection is alright and he may be better by psychological counseling or by drugs. Now the treatment of erectile dysfunction is always oral, unless the patient is contraindicated to nitroglycerin intake or related substances or has hypersensitivity to nitroglycerin. I think these days the use of NTG has decreased quite a lot. People have done coronary bypass, stenting, people are on other drugs like calcium channel blockers and so on. Better control of diabetes, I believe. Control of hypertension, certain antihypertensive drugs can also cause erection, we know that, and other drugs like antipsychotics can interfere with ejaculation, diuretics can sometimes interfere with both. So we have to choose the correct drug for the individual. Other factors that can cause diabetes mellitus are obesity, hypercholesterolemia, psychological, coronary artery disease, neurological problems, age, smoking, alcohol, all talk to you in the morning. What is the oral drug? The massive revolution came in 1998-99 when the nitric oxide pathway for dilation of small vessels came into play and the use of cyclic GMP was brought in. Then we start off with sildenafil 50 to 100 mg on 8 different occasions, interview the patient. If the patient is okay, he may be normal or may have mild to moderate vascular disease, we can treat the diabetes and we can continue with this drug. Ultimately, the diabetes will progress and the drugs will fail even at a higher dosage, which is of course not allowed. Now it acts as a PDE5 inhibitor which inhibits the breakaway of cyclic GMP into a useless product, thereby cyclic GMP is preserved and therefore the muscle relaxation is prolonged, and that is why these drugs like sildenafil, tadalafil, sildenafil all produce erections. This I already talked about. We have to titrate the patient to the correct dosage. In diabetics, usually a 100 mg dose may be required, but you could try with 50. If he has liver or renal dysfunction, you can start with 50. It is very important for the patient, if he is going to take sildenafil, to use visual or tactile stimulation. One of the pseudo failures of this drug is because one does not use any stimulation. If you think that it is a drug that is going to produce a spontaneous erection and give it at any time of the day without stimulation, it is not going to work. And that is the message I would like to leave you with. Tadalafil is a 24-hour drug action, so you can take it in the morning or afternoon, and the patient may do an intercourse at any time without having the stress of having to take the tablet just before intercourse and its enormous tensions. If oral drugs fail, then we have different methods. We have got self-injection, as I told you. Just as we do self-injection for diagnosis, we can give self-injection for treatment. Like this, we adjust to a 70 to 80% dose of erection using visual stimuli at the hospital, and think that you will get a 45 minute to 1 hour erection at home with stimulation. If the stimulation produces an erection more than 2 hours, he must come to the hospital. This is called as persistent erection, or after 4 hours, priapism, and that can itself lead to fibrotic cavernosa. It is suitable for long-term use if you use it once or twice a week. If oral drugs fail, another method is the use of trans-urethral PGD1 suppository. You give 1000 micrograms into the fossa navicularis and gently rub it. It will go into the cavernosus spaces and produce an erection. These are non-traumatic methods of erectile dysfunction erection. Vascular vacuum erection is another very easy form in which there is a vacuum pump, as you can see above, with some rings. This is how it is applied. The vacuum is activated, the penis gets tumescent, then the rubber band is put over the penis, and this can be used in elderly people who are married and the wife has a more lax vagina, and it can be very satisfactory. The important thing is nothing is disturbed to the patient, and he can buy it. This is only about 8,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees depending on the company in India. It is very important to release the band after the penile action is over, otherwise it can lead to necrosis of the urethra. This is the full-blown tumescent erection. Sometimes we can use rubber bands. If the patient says the base is unstable, we can use rubber bands as well, very cheap. If nothing works, we go to penile prosthesis. We know that penile prosthesis are operative procedures where we introduce semi-rigid or inflatable material into the penis. I am not going into the details. There are Indian and imported ones, quite affordable. We can do a penile prosthesis within 75,000. We can do a penile prosthesis even for 5 lakh. That is depending on whether it is inflatable or not. It is a one-time procedure. The more inflatable, the better conceived, the more satisfaction. But even a semi-rigid, out of which we have put a total of 230 implants, diabetes 45, we have explantation for removal of the prosthesis is 2, infection was 1 after 10 days, and erosion due to long usage and erosion from the urethra was another. But many of our patients are married who ever couldn't think of marriage and are extremely happy. So this is another method for producing erection. Now there are later drugs like buprenorphine. I want to go to low intensity shockwave therapy. It has been shown by giving shockwaves in animals that there is a better blood supply, newer blood vessels form. This concept was shifted to the penis, and it is now known that revascularization does occur. There are machines for this, and when the electrode is applied in a low frequency, not in the one that is used in ESWL, on these arteries, at 4 or 6 sessions, new blood vessels do form. This method is given to patients who respond to drugs, in the sense that there is only a moderate vascular disease, not a total vascular disease. In those patients, it will not help. Now, if you apply it at the sites given here, then in a matter of one session, 15 minutes a day in a week, for 4 weeks to 6 weeks, you will find that the patients respond well, and many of these patients are now able to take off the oral drug and they are able to perform without drug as well. Now we don't know the long-term results, whether these waves have to be given again or not, but we do have this equipment, and we recommend diabetologists to please send patients for this type of non-invasive treatment. Nanotechnology, new penile implants, endovascular treatment, gene therapy for erectile dysfunction, all are in the pipeline. Some of them have already come through, and therefore we expect that in the coming decade we will have extra types of treatment. Now this is the erect penis the world over. I don't know whether you can see from there, but we always compare with the Chinese and say the Chinese are smaller than India, but here the Chinese is 4.3 inch erect penis and India is 4. The longest one is Congo, 7.1 inch. The rigidity of the penis is the most important thing. Many a time the patient will come and tell us, I have a short penis, I have a shrinking penis, it is disappearing into the body and all those things. Now these are psychological factors. All you must test in the erect state is the rigidity of the penis, and if it is good, it is well for the patient. Now if you have a nurse who is looking into like this, then I would recommend you to try vascular drugs. If they don't work, then please send the patient to the andrologist. Thank you very much.